Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IR Update. Today with us, we have Greg Taylor, CEO of Sertainty. Hello, Greg.
How are you, Amanda?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's discuss today a very important topic globally, which is data privacy. So cybercrime is taking its toll on the globe. So can you discuss Sertainty's technology and how it can better protect enterprises, governments, and individuals more than any solution out there in the market today?
I'm happy to, Amanda, and you're absolutely right. Today, in 2015, cybercrime on a global basis, if you can imagine, was $3 trillion. $3 trillion. And it's projected to be over $10 trillion by 2025. So obviously the current status quo is not doing the job. Would you agree?
I do.
Okay. Well, we're talking about a market that in 2023, the global cybersecurity market that's about somewhere in 190 billion, I believe, and projected to be almost 200 and almost 300 billion by 2028. So obviously, even the predictors are not looking at this problem slowing down with what's currently going on in the marketplace today. So let me tell you how we address what's going on. This makes the market absolutely perfect for us because the pain has gotten so great that now companies and governments have to do something. Unfortunately, a lot of people do not want to pay for added security until either the government forces them to by some law change, which there actually was a presidential mandate that required companies to take a greater responsibility in how they protect their data. So let's look at Sertainty. What do? Sertainty, we invented a methodology to embed active intelligence inside of a data file. Today, you've got what's really referred to as the castle moat type situation in the networks, where you've got all kinds of layers of technology that protect the network from intruders trying to get in and get access to your data. Well, we're the last line of defense. Sertainty's technology is inside of the data file itself. Now, let me say that again because that kind of grabs people. Our technology is inside of the data file itself. With our technology, you have active intelligence that's been injected or embedded inside of a data file that makes the data file self-protecting, it's self-governing, it carries out compliance, and it carries out mitigation according to the data owner's wishes if a data file or a group of data files find themselves in an environment that they're not supposed to be in. So one of the best examples of that, everybody knows the Ed Snowden story. Had our technology been embedded in those data files, by the time he got halfway through the parking lot, what he had in his possession would have been dead. It would have been no use to anybody because the data files themselves, if they had any access to a network, or the moment that they had access to a network, or if he had an active device that was turned on, they would have absolutely destroyed themselves, or they would have taken the appropriate action that the data owner wanted it to take. Even when he walked off of the premises and got out of a geographical bound inside of the NSA itself, they would have been notified that a breach was in progress. So again, we are inside of the data file itself. We are the last layer of protection, if you will, and we're the only people that we're aware of, that the three-letter agencies are aware of, companies, corporations are aware of, that can actually do what we do inside of a data file. Now, when people hear all of this can be done inside of a data file, one of the most common questions that they ask, Amanda, is if you can do all of that from within inside of a data file, key management, everything, it's inside the data file, then what have you done to my system's overhead? Well, this is a pleasant answer for the hearers. We actually, in large workflows, have increased your productivity, and we do not add enough overhead that it causes any problems with your performance. We actually enhance performance and bring economies to scale of savings to people who use our technology in large workflows. If it's a real small workflow, then it's about the same as normal encryption. It's about the same as normal encryption. So we're truly at the data layer. We're inside the data file itself. We have been lab tested by the best labs that the government has to offer, by the best commercial labs. A commercial lab that everybody is familiar with is Veracode. We went through all of the levels of testing with Veracode, and we received a score of 100. They put every kind of stress test. They tried to reverse engineer. It was white hat testing, black hat testing, pen testing at the most crucial levels of the technology. We scored a 100, which we were told is very, very unusual. So we're inside of the data file. We've been lab tested in the best government labs, lab tested in the best commercial labs. Nobody has been able to break or reverse engineer our technology. In 1965, Amanda, a guy named Gordon Moore, who was the co-founder of Intel, he predicted that every 2 years, the processing power and the intelligence of the IT world would double. Well, what's actually really happened has been way beyond that, way beyond that. A guy named Ryan Arshad, who is a writer for Forbes magazine, basically studied it out and said in 20 years from today, our technologies would be 1 million times more powerful than they are today. Now, that's kind of hard to get your head around. Today, scientists are saying that in 30 years, Amanda, we will reach a point of singularity. Well, singularity is a term within our field that actually really means that machines and technology will be so intelligent that the human brain cannot comprehend. So we're at the data layer. We protect the data. We govern the data. We enforce compliance in the data, and we carry out mitigation at the data layer, all from inside a data file. So next question.
That's fantastic. And there's so many technology issues that I was not aware of. But can you discuss some of the business cases for this particular technology?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. One of our early technology partners, a company called Transformations, Inc., they have a product that is considered best of class. It's a product named Uluru, and it does back-end processing in very, very large workflows, very large workflows. And their technology is built on our technology platform. So today they're in finance, insurance, healthcare, government, and utilities. And give you an example, one example of how their technology works. Say a large bank has millions of credit card holders or millions of customers that have wealth management with them or have some type of benefits that come through their bank. That all goes to a big data processor on a monthly basis, and they produce statements that you either get in the mail or statements that you log into and you can get access to that information online. Well, most people have no idea how a bank statement is put together. A bank statement might go through 8 or 10 different stations, where one station might only produce an envelope. Another station might produce some simple information about your bank account. Anyway, it's a big process, lots of different stations that it goes through to actually produce that statement. And this happens in a big data center. Doesn't happen at the bank, happens in a large data center. Well, in today's world, if they are compliant with legalities, they would have to crypt and unencrypt at every station. And so you can imagine, if you're looking at a terabyte file or 100 gigabyte file, the time frame that would be involved. So in the real world, what really happens is you've got a whole lot of data sitting out there that's open, and you've got a lot of people or machines that would have access to that data and the opportunity to steal it. So what our technology does is it allows that same process to go through, where a machine or a person that does nothing but the envelopes, that's all the information they get. Another station that does some little part of that process, they only get the little part that they see, and that's it. They don't see the whole thing. Nobody sees the whole thing. And the data stays completely safe while it's under processing and that statement is being produced. So, large data workflows is a perfect application. Big data centers, perfect application for our technology. And as I said, today we're in finance, insurance, healthcare, government, and utilities. So let me give you one more quick example. When the Ukraine war broke out, the Russians were successful in bringing down the internet in the Ukraine. Most people don't realize it, Amanda, but our DoD is responsible for our financial networks. Nor do most people realize that our financial networks globally is built on a technology called PKI, private key and public key infrastructure. It's already been proven that quantum computing can break PKI. So people are starting to get concerned. They're starting to look for alternative ways to protect themselves against quantum computing. Our technology is quantum resistant. Our technology cannot be broken by brute force. It absolutely cannot be broken by brute force. So when the Ukraine internet went down, that got our government's attention, where we had been knocking on doors for a very long time and being promised, nothing ever happened. That got our government's attention, and they actually contacted Sertainty and asked for a meeting in Washington, D.C. Well, there was two questions that they wanted the answer to, basically. And this is very high-level meetings. They wanted to know, in a catastrophic event, like a nuclear strike, God forbid that ever happens, but we live in a world today where that is a potential possibility. So in a catastrophic situation, they wanted to know, could our technology be used to guarantee the continuity of operations? And we said yes, without any hesitancy. Their second question was, well, okay, can the technology be used to guarantee the continuity of communications? And the answer again was yes, without hesitation. Well, eyes rolled in people's heads. A lot of people didn't believe what they were hearing, and they wanted to know, how can you do that? How can you do that? Well, it's a simple answer, but it got their attention. It's high frequency radio waves. High frequency, our data, our technology can be transported by high frequency radio waves. Like your ham operators, if you know people that have ham operators, radio equipment. So a test was set up by the government, overseen by our engineers and our people, and they loaded data files, and they set up multiple locations, and they transmitted the data. And when the data arrived safely at the location, faster than you can blink your eyes, the very first thing the data does is it takes a look at itself and it confirms that nothing, no human being or no machine has touched the data. And then they open the file, the data's there. So that got their attention, and that actually got us our first government contract with one of the major agencies that I'm not at liberty to tell you who that is. But we would be happy under non-disclosure to share that with the audience. So anyway, those are a couple of great examples that hopefully answers your question.
It does. It does. But now moving more towards your revenue model. Can you discuss how your future revenue model looks like and the path to ensure technology really reaches a broader market?
Okay, yes, absolutely. We have a three-pronged revenue model, and the first prong is by direct partnerships, and by that I mean that anybody can download our software development kit, which is a tool that developers use to build software packages. It's at absolutely no cost to them. It's at no cost to Certainty. And then they can build their product or their application on our technology platform. And when they take it into the market, then we will receive a royalty on their revenue stream. So that's the first leg. The second leg is a direct to market approach. Intimately knowing our technology and intimately recognizing, Amanda, some of the problems that are going on in the world out there in cybersecurity today that are not being solved, we see unique opportunities to use our technology to build products that will fill those vacuums. And as you and your audience knows, nature abhors a vacuum. So in that opportunity, we would receive like a per seat license. There would be a royalty, a per seat license type situation, and we would obviously help support that company in building that product. The third leg of our revenue model is a licensing approach. There are many, many different universes, Amanda, that don't touch each other at all in the commercial marketplace. So if we have somebody come to us and they want an exclusive relationship in a vertical or in a specific industry, then there could be a licensing fee, and that could be very large. It depends on what they want. I mean, somebody came to us and said, look, we want the entire healthcare market. That might be $100 million licensing fee. That's a big market. So that would be a licensing fee, as well as all the support that they would need in building their products for that marketplace. And then we also then at that point would take a small royalty on their revenue. So that's our three-pronged approach.
And then moving more towards investor relations, how can investors look for measurements and way to track your progress in the future?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that question. I want to point everybody to our website, www.certainty, spelled with an S, certainty.com. And I would encourage people just to follow us on our website. You're going to continue to see press releases about contracts. You're going to see press releases where awards have continued to be given and granted to Certainty. When you study the website, you'll see that we've received a lot of recognition for the technology that we've built and developed. And oh, by the way, there's 17 active issued patents around the technology. There's 4 or 5 more coming literally in the next 2 or 3 months. So it's very protected technology, and that will be another press release that you see or information that you'll see on our website. There's definitely much more patents to come, and we have 3 of the top 5 patent law firms in the world. So we have a very, very extensive intellectual property package. Investors can look for more of that to come. Being the first in the market with a technology like this, and again, we're the inventors of intelligent data, so to speak. So being the first in the market, proven, the efficacy of our technology has been proven, both in government and in regular commercial commerce. So that it's in itself has a market advantage. So probably more than likely, you're going to see a very large government contract. You're going to see press releases happen here soon around a very large government contract with one of the major agencies. In fact, we've got a couple that are in play, ready almost to be released, and press releases in two different major areas of the federal government as we speak today. We also have a lot of commercial contracts that are starting to develop significant opportunities for the company and revenue, and are growing. So anyway, you're going to see, one of the things that you're going to see that I'm really excited about is we're fixing to go through a process with the NSA to be able to be used in additional levels of really secret stuff, really classified environments. That's where you can really save the lives of people, and that's one of the areas you can make a huge difference.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You have a blessed day. Thank you.